Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gillette Home team of Keller Williams and Laura Gillette. For all your real estate needs, go to teamgillette.com. And H&R Block of Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, and Kaiser. For more information on your tax preparation needs, call 541-928-6432.
It's perfect time. Time to start.
It is The Experience. Hey, live with Russ and Scott. We are here today, ready to have fun. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great. And I just want to say, again, thank you to our sponsors, to H&R Block and to the Gillette Home team. And why do I have this envelope, this folder?
Why?
Well, it was full.
Tell us why. Come on.
It was full of very helpful information. Randy from the Gillette Home team came and spent time with me because we're selling our house. And I can't imagine who else I would go with rather than the Gillette Home team. And it's a complicated process, but they're making it easy. Everything's put together. It's just very orderly, organized. So anyway, there you go. Change is coming on this side of the screen.
Changes are coming. Well, I can tell you firsthand that I've used the Gillette Home team not to sell my home, but to help an elderly neighbor sell her home. So I was directly involved with that. They made it simple, easy, and just an amazing team that Laura has. And then also I've used H&R Block to do my taxes every year and take care of me. So they are amazing. So thank you to both of them.
Yes, absolutely.
I am so excited, Scott. We just came off the Experience backstage. If you guys have not tuned in on Instagram before the show at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, every week, every Wednesday, we have the Experience backstage with our friend Shree from Houston, Texas. Today she was in Lubbock, Texas, and we were just having such a great time. It's sunny and beautiful there. It's sunny and beautiful in Oregon today. We're all sunny and happy.
Yep, it's a happy time. And hey, it's great to see David Chrysler here. I was just listening to him on a podcast, by the way, and I'll have to go back and find out and go, which one was it? Because I was going through the feed and it's like, David Chrysler. Well, of course I'm going to listen to him on the podcast.
Well, of course, David has become an awesome friend.
Yeah.
And I appreciate David so much. He's just become an instant great supporter of all the stuff that we're doing, but is just an incredible guy. So I appreciate him and all that he's doing. And so thank you, David, for tuning in today. Listen, we love engagement, by the way. So share this with your friends. Get the word out there. We have two incredible people in Tim and Zach Croll on today. We're going to all talk about Lego Masters. If you want to go back to your childhood and play with Legos, today's your day. So tune in. This is going to be great, but you got to share this out with people. Now, if you happen to be watching on replay, no worries. You can still share it out with your friends. You can still get the word out, and you can still comment, and we will comment back to you. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for being part of it. And, we just appreciate you being here and engaging like David is right now in the comments.
Yeah, there it is. Social capital. That was, I'm just listening to him. So there you go. People can tune in.
There you go. David's got some great stuff going on.
Yeah,
and also our
absolutely.
good friend Chris Stone is here, who is an amazing live streamer. Dealcasters with he and Jim Fuse. Lots of great people here. And
their show yesterday was really, really wonderful. I encourage people to go watch the replay.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and that's it. That's the beautiful thing about live streaming, live or replay.
Yeah. Digital Etiquette, a new book that's out, Digital Etiquette for Dummies. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I think anyway, I need that. Okay.
It's great. It was a great broadcast. Wonderful tips. And of course, go buy the book. And,
yes.
And don't suffer from foot and mouth disease. And
the live streamers are just stacking up right now. My good new friend Chris Hennessy is on. Yo, Chris. Chris is going to be on one of my upcoming Russ Reels live show.
Mm-hmm.
He is an amazing guy. Appreciate him and all he's doing in live streaming. Listen, I just want to real quickly, Scott, give everybody a snapshot of what you got going on this week.
Yeah, so this week, of course, we'll be pushing out another episode of the Aging Better Network broadcast with Christine A. Smith, talking about aspects of aging every week, Wednesday. So you can find it on LinkedIn and her website, agingbetternetwork.com. That's 9 a.m. Pacific. Of course, we've got the Experience Mastermind and teaching people all about how to do live streaming. And there's a lot of, it's not just the tech. I mean, there's some tech. We're talking about some pretty subtle techniques in there. And that has been a great thing. Go to russhedge.com, dscottsmith.com. It is a paid program, and you get a lot of value out of it.
It's worth
obviously,
every penny.
Russ started with getting sponsorship for his programs from his lives from the beginning. So if you think you've got to wait, don't. So join the mastermind. Of course, last week I had the multi-site live stream fundraiser hybrid event. And a week from tomorrow, on the 19th, we'll be doing another live stream fundraiser. So last week it was Friends of the Family. And I think going into that, I won't disclose, but they raised some significant money over the whole course of this program. And next week on Thursday, it's Quiet Waters Outreach, and we'll be doing a fundraiser for them and going live on Friday on their Facebook page. So lots of things going on.
Yeah, and that's so amazing, Scott, because you can do so many things with video. You're not refined or defined or confined to exactly what we're doing here. You can take it to new levels. Just real quick, I want to tell you that speaking of live streaming, I was able to speak to a great group last night in Dallas, Texas, a book club. We talked about monetization. We talked about connection, and my new workshop coming up that I had one of the members jump on and sign up for right away.
And that was our friend Liz, eh?
Liz is our friend that had that book club. That's right.
Yeah, Liz Lawless. So
yes, and that was amazing. And our friend Trish was part of that group as well, who's part of our mastermind. And so, I wanted to let all you know that I have an upcoming live stream workshop next week on the 18th. It'll be at noon Pacific Daylight Time. It's called Successfully Transform Your Business in 3 Simple Steps. It is all about connecting to life, building community. It has so much value for you. And you know what? Today, for those of you watching, if you sign up now, you can sign up for free. That's right. Free with a capital F is the promo code to sign up for that. You can go to russhedge.com to my workshops and click on that and sign up today.
So and free is a very good price. Hey, creativity and inspiration. That's what we've got coming up here.
That's right. Speaking of creativity and inspiration, we got Tim and Zach Kroll. We're going to get the party started. Bring them in. You ready? You ready, Scott?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, here they are. Good morning, gentlemen.
Right. Good morning.
You guys, we are so excited to have you on because I want to learn all about Lego Masters. But before we jump into that, I just want to thank you for taking your time out of your day and for both of you being here. I know your time is valuable, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we love doing this stuff, love sharing the love of Lego and how we actually work together. And we do quite a bit in and around Lego. It's kind of been a avenue through which we serve and how we are able to connect with our communities, with our families, with other people that are in events and festivals. So we use this quite a bit and love being able to talk about it.
So connect with Legos, no pun intended.
No, that's actually intended. That's 100% intended. So.
100% intended. Well, speaking of intention, give us a little snapshot of Tim, your son Zach, what you're all about and how you got involved in Lego Masters.
Lego Masters is kind of a spawn outside of our original intent, which our original intent for Melissa and I, as far as like the parents with our kids, was just to make sure that we spent time with our kids and we connected with our kids. And so Lego was one of those things that we could do where we could build together. We could actually use Lego to have time and spend time with our kids. So my oldest child, Micah, he started with it pretty early. Zach was stealing Legos when he was 1 and 2. We were trying to pull him because we thought we were going to stick him in his nose or eat him or something like that. But anyway, so all the way up through, we were buying sets. Zach at around age 8 or 9.
Yep, probably around that point.
Yeah, he all of a sudden decided that he was a lot better at building Lego than I was. So he decided that he was going to do it by himself and said, "Dad, I don't need your help." And then coming back around 13 or 14, I noticed a talent that he had where he would actually just create things. He would pick up the Lego, throw all of the Lego from the sets into a big bin, and then just start creating stuff. And that's when we really started getting serious about what we were going to do. And then to encourage him, as far as like Mom and I, we just wanted to be able to take that and use that as like an avenue for him to have the artist expression, development experience, that kind of a stuff, which led to Brick World in Chicago. We did a big display there, which then led to some of the casting agents calling us, which then led to us going through the interview process for Lego Master. So that was the process.
That was the 1,000-foot view. Yeah.
So there's a lot of little details in there I skipped over.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Hey, Zach, fill in some of the spaces there. Tell everybody hi.
Oh, hi. Obviously, I'm Zach. So probably around 13, I started doing what is called a mock, which is it stands for my own creation. And in the Lego world, everybody who builds Lego makes these mocks. So around like 13 or 14, I just in our basement just started working on like this huge castle display because I'm a castle mock builder, which in the Lego world again makes a big deal. And then I enlisted him to put grass on, which is really funny actually, because it's like all the grunt labor you don't really want to do yourself, so you get somebody else who's less knowledgeable. So yeah, it's like slave labor. So we started going, like he said, to Chicago, and we kind of got recognized by other Lego like heads in the community or whatever, and then
leaders would be
leaders or heads or whatever. From there they then pulled our name off a roster, and the rest is history. So
for the Lego Master part.
But
so a lot of it has just been in the fact of us as a family wanting to make sure that we spent time together, and that's where that all comes. One thing I will say, because there's probably people listening, we have a lot of terms in the Lego world that we use. And so if you ever hear, or maybe just in the comments, maybe you want to put a chat and say, okay, well, what does that mean? Like, I'll just give you the one that Zach just said was mock. It's MOC, all caps.
Yep.
It's my own creation. Another one that we use a lot is called AFOL, AFOL, and that's adult fan of Lego. Sorry. But so there's a lot of those things that we have that if somebody doesn't know what it is, make sure you say something in the chat.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of stuff like that inside of the Lego world.
Yes. Well, everybody has their own lingo, I think, in whatever industry you're in. Just a quick aside from Legos, then we'll jump back. Tim, tell us about your business and what you're doing. And does that tie into Lego Masters at all?
Oh, it ties in directly. So I have always been a teacher. Ever since I was in college, I started teaching, and I just love being able to watch people's eyes when they have a discovery or an epiphany where all of a sudden they just realize that there is a way forward, or they learn something new. So I've always been a teacher, and I love that aspect of it. I've kind of fought against the term coach because there's a lot of negativity around coaching, but in the true sense of the word, I'm a teacher and I'm a coach, and a teacher draw the greatness out of individuals. So in my business, what I do is I do a lot of public speaking, keynotes. I do a lot of coaching and teaching, and then using Lego. I have a sphere, which is made out of Lego plates. They're all square, they're all flat. But using this, you can take pieces and create some pretty incredible things, and then make sure that, again, a lot of training, whether it's communication or making sure the right parts are in the right spots, making sure you have the right equipment, do you have the right instructions, do you have all of that stuff comes together. And we use Lego as an example or parable to be able to then apply some of the knowledge and the teaching that we have.
A connector.
Yeah, the connector.
And it's so important because we communicate with stories and analogies, right? We always say, oh, it's like whatever,
Yep.
right? It's like taking a bunch of square pieces and making them look round.
Yep.
Right. I mean, there's some, I love the way this works. And my wife was actually interviewed a lady on her show that uses Legos with senior citizens and people with dementia. And so it's amazing what can be done when you employ that creativity.
Yeah, there is so many things that we talk about in Lego. I know this is going to be a conversation, but each one of these conversations that we have, we'll probably talk about it for 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. But each one of these things that we talk about, we could literally do an entire show on each one of these pieces, right? So one of the things that we talk about is creating and crafting your narrative and living your true narrative rather than living by a false narrative. The other aspect is, like you just said, there are so many different applications that we have in helping kids understand and identifying their giftedness or their skills, and I'll let you kind of talk about this. We have a Lego shop, Alpine Brick. And Alpine Brick, we have a lot of individuals that come in that either have autism or ADHD, or there's something on the spectrum. Let me just put it that way. And they come in, and when they have the Lego experience, it totally changes. And I'll let you share some of those.
Yeah. So we try to almost develop the storefront in order to have that experience, so that there is something for those, whether it's autism or something's like not all there. We try to make that a priority to communicate with them and see if we can't connect with them on some level. And we've had parents come back to us and send us messages and be like, hey, I've never seen my kid interact with anybody like this. Like, it's totally different. And they were in love with what you were saying. They got what you were saying. They were able to connect with you. And so I just sit there and I get to talk with these individuals and their families, and then they all get connected on like the Lego train or whatever. And so they're all doing it together as a family. And going back to what he said with his narrative, is that's really the heartbeat of the business, is to get people, get families to be connected to each other through the avenue of Lego, just so that they know, hey, family values matter, and that do stuff with your kids that, they love to do. If they're interested in that, whether it's like how you always say with Micah was fishing, I was Lego, Ellie is drama. We do stuff with the kids that they want to do, and you take an interest with them on what they're interested in. And honestly, your relationship with your kids will go far.
Well, I think it's amazing when you have shared interest and you bring people together. And I love what you're talking about, taking all the analogies and the connectivity. And I'm all about connection of Legos and putting that into business and life. And, if you want somebody to tune in and you really want to have attention, then talk about what they love. One trick that I learned years ago, a trick's not the right word, but one skill that I learned years ago when I was young, if you really want to connect with somebody and get them talking, even if they're an introvert, ask them about what they're passionate about and then shut up. And my old boss would hardly talk until you asked him about bow hunting. and then you just shut up and you would talk for an hour and a half. And so same thing with this Legos. I mean, who doesn't love Legos?
And I want to hear too, Zach and Tim, about Lego Masters. That's,
sure.
That's a pretty amazing deal, by the way. That's a big deal, as we say.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I would say in regards to the Lego Masters, we're celebrities in a little tiny fishbowl because most people don't recognize who we are. We had our 15 minutes of fame on TV. But the realistic aspect of that is most people they don't remember reality TV stars or whatever. They just don't, it just doesn't, and that's okay. That's totally okay. But as far as the time on there, our purpose for getting on the Lego Masters, and we talked about this all the way up through the interview process, but our purpose on the story we wanted to share, the narrative we wanted to tell, was that you can have a healthy relationship between a parent and a child. And we wanted to portray that all through the competition, through all of the stress, through all of the late nights and the early mornings, through all of the different drama, all of the different narratives that the producers were attempting to get us. We wanted to make sure that we stayed true to what we held as far as our core values and the belief system that it can be healthy. You don't have to be broken inside of a family. It happens sometimes, but you can always have that potential of healing and creating a healthy family environment.
Well, and that is critical. You know, we were actually just talking with our good friend Shri on the experience backstage before that, and that is taking care of yourself, taking care of your personal life, having a healthy family, and really working together and spending time together. And I think that's vital to life. You know, my upcoming workshop that I told everybody about, successfully transform your business in 3 simple steps, the connections, it's all about connection. And the first one is connect to self. And it's all talking about yourself, your family, your personal life, and all of that. It's important to have that right connection within yourself and what's going on in your life. Otherwise, how can you get out there and really help others and connect with them? I think that's the big first step, right, Scott?
Yeah, and I love that you guys chose to stick to your core values and not let the producers incite something that wasn't there.
I love Lego Masters and I love everything about it, and I'm very, very grateful the way that the producers edited and put everything together. They did a phenomenal job, and in fact, every time that we're out, as far as the responses and stuff that I've gotten from the parents is thank you for the show. And obviously I didn't have a whole lot of control over the editing part of it, but they always say thank you because it's a show that the whole family can watch and the whole family can get engaged with. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but
I'll have families come in to the store, and most of the time the parents are like, it's usually the mom. It's she's like, you were on Lego Masters, and the kids were kind of like, yeah, mom, like, don't embarrass us. But she's always like, and then she starts telling me about the store, like how she's super happy about the store and how she was super happy to see myself with my dad on the show. And she, at some point in the conversation, always switches to, I'm so happy that you were able to represent what a true family values look like, even though you were on TV, even though with all the pressure, even though with everything that was around you. And so I've had so many moms and families like come and tell me this type of stuff. And that's honestly where we're at. That's like why we did it.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, to the point where some are in tears, just in the whole aspect. That's what I wish for my family. And the emotions are always there. So, but I wanted to kind of bring all of that together because, Russ, you said something really specific about the fact that you have to grow yourself. You have to have personal development. Part of my teaching is, and this is my branding. I mean, it's all about building blocks and Lego. But part of my teaching is I've got the 5 building blocks of leadership. And the very, very first one would echo exactly what you're talking about. You've got to lead yourself before you can start leading others. You've got to learn how to become a better leader of your own life before you can actually start leading. And it's amazing when you start breaking things down, how simple it is. However, it seems like we have struggles to implement the simplicity of life lessons, we really struggle with that. But some of it is just, you got to hear it a bunch of times, right? You gotta go through that. So between the ability of Lego Masters to tell that story, healthy families, growing yourself personally, connecting with the families, and seeing the life change that happens, that's the whole reason why we do what we do.
Right. And that, that is so critical. I think everybody listening today, whatever you do in life, find common interest with your children, with your spouse, with your family, with your close friends, and really connect, engage. This is how we build healthy families. This is how we build community. And it's vital to life to do that. I know when my children were young, I love sports. They love sports. We did lots of sports stuff together. I was coaching and helping, always engaging within what they were doing. They love music, and my whole family was musical. So we all did music together. It's a matter of finding common interests, things that you love. And sometimes, like you have done, Tim, your son is really into Legos. Man, this is a great way for you guys to spend time together and develop that relationship, because it's vital. You have such a small amount of time on this earth to develop those relationships and build those. And that's just vital to do that. So I just appreciate you guys, all that you're about. Scott, did you have any last questions?
I just want to know, Zach, did you get bit by the media bug there with the lights and the cameras and the attention? And
oh no, see, it's a running joke that I am actually the worst with social media in my family, which is really kind of sad because he's in my family, so he's like way older than I am and has like gray hair, well, white hair, and
wow,
is like way better at social media than I am. I just kind of like tag along, and so I'm like the little like backup guy. I'm like, yeah, you go. But I occasionally will post something out on the store site, but even that he has to pull teeth in order to get me to do. And
oh, that's fabulous, though.
Yeah, like I know,
not my thing.
At the very beginning, Russ was asking me like, "Well, where's Zach at on social media? What does Zach do on social media?" It's like, he's not there.
It's very low key.
Yeah, Zach, you were just like my son. We use Snapchat to talk to each other, to message each other, and that's about his extent.
Yep.
On it.
Yeah. Well,
and he's 19, so there you go.
And my son is 29. He's the same. He does some Instagram is about all. And constantly his grandparents are saying, Connor, can you please he travels around the world doing music. As a musician, they go, can you please put some pictures up so we can see what you're doing? He's horrible at that. He's horrible. His dad, I am the one that does all the social media stuff too.
I understand totally.
It's a different generation that I'm seeing.
It's like really... we've like gotten into this point to where we're just like, nah, we're done. We're good. We'll just go do our stuff and live our lives. But hey, if it's your thing, it's your thing.
Yeah. Well, it's all about connection is so critical, however you do it. Some of us like the connection of social media. Some of us like the connection in person. You just do whatever works best for you.
Yep.
And I just think you guys, it's amazing. I love the stories. So exciting about Lego Masters and all that you were able to do. So listen, I want you guys each take a turn. The final word of what you want everybody to remember today, and then how they would get in touch with you. And Zach, we already know. Talk to your dad if we want to get in touch with you.
Go to the store.
I have some social media. I just can't promise it will be probably like 12 to 8 business days before I respond. So I would say the core that I would want to say is honestly just focus on what your kids are interested in. And that really is the key to parenting and to building a healthy relationship, is that it's honestly, at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about what can you do for the people that are around you. And through that servanthood, you will grow a healthy family. And then I am on Instagram at _thatbrickguy_. That's my only one that I got.
maybe you'll get them there.
Like I said, 8 to 12 business days. So,
yeah. All right.
There's a lot of stuff that I would love to leave, but I mean, like when I look at it, I think the greatest calling that we have as humans is to leave an impact. And in that impact, that there's a lot of different ways that could go. But in order for you to understand your impact is you have to work inside of your greatness. And if you don't understand what your greatness is or what your calling is, you've really got to go through a discovery process to be able to understand. There is a definite false narrative that's out there that the world is telling you that you should be a certain way and go a certain direction. The reality is we don't all follow that path. It's like the teaching a monkey to swim or a fish to climb a tree kind of a concept. It's the fact that you've got to really do the deep personal work to develop and be able to become exactly who you were created to be. And in that vein, there's a lot of different pieces and parts on that. I love talking about that. I love working with people. I love being able to hear their stories of growth. And then you can connect with me. Well, if you're watching, I basically have it everywhere. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you just do a search for my name, I have my website. You can probably find me just about anywhere. So
Yeah, he's easy.
You're readily available, which is great. At least we can get a hold of one of you. So that's good. And so, well, listen, I want you to know from Scott and I both, we appreciate you guys so much coming on today. It's so much fun to be able to learn about new adventures like Lego Masters. And I really knew very little before, Tim, you and I talked. And so my last memory of Legos was stepping on them when my kids were little. And it was a painful memory. But I remember when I was a kid, I loved Legos. So there you go.
Yeah, I would add, if you ever want to get back into it, do a search for a Lego event near you. Our next one that we have coming up, if you want to do a meet and greet or actually see us in person, is in Schaumburg, right outside of Chicago. And that's over Father's Day weekend. It's Brick World is the name of that show. We'd love to meet you guys. But there's several others throughout the country that different Lego Masters will be attending. And it'll definitely be a good experience for you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much again. And we're going to say goodbye and send you out to the green room, but hang tight for a second as Scott and I wrap up the show. And thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's a first. Father and son on The Experience, live with Russ and Scott.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. You and I needed to do an experience with our sons. I just thought
we had to get that. If I can browbeat my son enough into it, because he's like Zach. He's just, it's not his thing. So
yeah.
But you never know what might happen.
Yeah, maybe for Dad he'll do that. So yeah, he could be
on the show with a Grammy-nominated musician.
Ooh, there you go. Tell him that. Yeah, I've been blessed to have all of my family on my Marketing with Russ, which is great. And my son has been a guest, and my daughter has been a guest with one of her friends from Indonesia, where she was on doing missions work. So it's fun to have your kids on. It's fun to do that. So I'll talk to your son too. I'll help you out. Well, listen, I want to
remind folks what you got coming up this week.
Yes, I want to thank everybody again, and I'd let you know that this is a great week. Today, I get to speak to the Gillette Home team here at lunchtime, noontime here on the Pacific West Coast. Yes, and they're amazing people. They're an amazing sponsor. Also touching base with H&R Block, our other sponsor. But I have an upcoming workshop next week, the 18th at noon. All of the information will magically appear in the comments and is also all over social media. And that is Successfully Transform Your Business in 3 Simple Steps. It's going to be great. And for you listening today, if you put in the promo code FREE with a capital F, you get that workshop for free. It is an amazing workshop on community building and connection. It will transform your business and make you more successful in all you do. So tune into that. Scott, what else do you have going on again?
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm really excited about is Fred Keenley is going to be my guest tomorrow at 2 p.m. And that's 2 p.m. Pacific time on Amazon Live. So people can go to MotivationalListener.live, www.motivationallistener.live. 2 p.m. Pacific time, Fred Keenley. We got a follow-up to his book. His first book was Health with an Attitude, and he has just released Leadership with an Attitude, Busting the Myth Around Leadership. And people will want to tune into that and ask questions. Fred palled around with the wonderful Zig Ziglar. And so we got a direct connect into that brain as well. So Fred Keenly tomorrow on Amazon Live with his book.
I was going to say, I get to talk to Fred this afternoon. He and I are going to be meeting up, and what a great guy Fred is. What a great supporter and just an all around great guy. And yes, the Ziegler family, he's connected me in with them and you as well. And that is an amazing thing, because Zig Ziglar was amazing. But it's so great, the opportunities we have to connect. And don't forget, we are here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. And before this, we are on Instagram at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on The Experience Backstage with our friend Shri on Instagram. And that is so much fun. Then we jump over after this to the Experience Mastermind, live with Russ and Scott, where you can collaborate, you can learn from, you can share with, and build community with other live streamers or people that want to do that. It's a great, great opportunity. Go to russhedge.com or dscottsmith.com for more information on that. And have I forgotten anything, Scott?
I think that is plenty for now, but make sure, again, follow Russ, follow myself on Instagram, LinkedIn, follow the YouTube channel, go to theexperience.video and follow the channel, hit the little chime so that you'll get notified every time we go live.
That's right. That's right. And our friend Liz is tuning in. Liz, thanks for joining in here at the end of the show. Great, great chat with her book club last night. Amazing. And like I said, one of them have already signed up for the workshop. So don't miss out. There's a limited number of seats. So make sure and sign up for that today. And I think, Scott, I really think there's only one thing left to say. There you go. And we are ready to roll. So thanks everybody for joining in. We'll see you next week on The Experience Live.
That's it.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.